Long ago, trolley networks connected many major cities in the eastern United States. While these lines were built for shorter journeys, intrepid travelers learned that one could, hopping from one trolley to another, travel great distances at slow speeds, stopping in all the cities and towns along the way to take in the local scenery. These trips were called trolley holidays. When I learned about this at the Shoreline Trolley Museum a few years ago, I was left wondering, could one still take a trolley holiday using modern transit?
Behind me is Philadelphia's City Hall. I'm going to take a trolley holiday today from here to the state capitol building in Harrisburg. Our first mode of transportation is the only actual trolley still in use on this route, the number 10. So let's go.
While I'm heading underground, let's take a look at the route I'll be taking. The rules are simple. No Amtrak or private coach buses, no Uber, and no walking or biking for long distances. For starters, I'll be riding SEPTA's number 10 trolley from the underground loop at 13th Street to the above-ground loop at Overbrook. From there, I'll walk a few blocks to the SEPTA Regional Rail Station and ride the Paoli-Thorndale line to Downingtown, where I'll catch SEPTA's 135 bus to Coatesville. The route from here is a strange one. It's called the Outfitter by Chesco Bus, and it runs only once every 12 hours, primarily to carry employees to Urban Outfitters in Gap. If I miss this, I will have missed the only transit connection between Philadelphia and Lancaster's bus systems, and I'll be forced to ride Amtrak instead. Assuming I make it, I'll then ride the Red Rose Transit Authority 21 to Lancaster and the 17 to Columbia. Finally, Rabbit Transit will take me the rest of the way to Harrisburg with the 12 minibus, 1E regular bus, and 83N express coach bus. And for each of these segments, I'll be finding out when you could last ride the same route on a trolley. Here is the loop at the eastern end of the trolley subway. And it's here we're going to catch the number 10 when it comes in a few minutes.
Route 10 will be arriving within 2 minutes.
And thus the journey begins. I realized I didn't start a stopwatch for this trip, so let me do that now. We'll add maybe like 10 minutes. I could have easily walked another few blocks from City Hall to Suburban Station and caught the Paoli-Thorndale line from there. But I wanted this adventure to start out as close to an authentic trolley holiday as possible, and so I used the only trolley still active on this route. The 10 has existed in some form since 1887, and was integrated into the subway surface system in 1906. For more history on the trolley subway, check out my video from when I rode with the operator on a similar route. The 10 is the only Philadelphia trolley that uses the 36th Street portal, and once it's on the surface, it quickly turns onto Lancaster Avenue. This was part of the old Philadelphia and Lancaster Turnpike, a route which we'll be following for the majority of our journey today. In addition to crossing the tracks of the soon-to-be active 15 trolley, we also crossed several other abandoned trolley tracks left over from Philadelphia's larger streetcar system. The character of the neighborhoods change as we make our way north and west, until finally we summit a hill and end up in the lovely suburb of Overbrook.
Alright, we've made it to the Malvern Loop in Overbrook, so now we're going to walk from here to the Paoli-Thorndale line station for Overbrook and catch that to Downingtown.
Very quick station tour. We got a nice little shelter here with semi-hostile benches, a little planter.
And then something interesting I noticed is that the track goes around in a loop, but then when it comes back around here, the outbound track crosses over the inbound track to head back into Center City. Apparently I can take a bus from here to the regional rail station, but it's such a nice day, and I'm enjoying the fresh air after being cooped up in the K car, so I'm just gonna walk it. I'm already starting to get the appeal of the trolley holiday. I have ridden past this neighborhood maybe every year of my life since I was a little kid on the Keystone Corridor, but I've never once walked down this street or seen what was here. So it's cool to be able to take it at a slower pace and kind of get to know the area.
This sidewalk is not ADA compliant. In fact, I barely fit on it. Welcome to SEPTA.
Let me ask this gentleman here, are you feeling bullish about me being able to make it to Harrisburg on local transit?
Well, on second thought, I think he might be a little bit biased. This is what I imagined the Channel Tunnel looking like, going from England to France. You know, you just look out the tunnel, you see all the fish. Electrified service between Paoli and Thorndale has existed on this line since 1915. It was, in fact, the first local commuter train in the United States to be electrified. But if I had been traveling west back in the day, I probably would have taken a different route. I would have gone from 69th Street Transportation Center on the 104 trolley to Westchester, and then taken the Westchester Street Railway from there to Downingtown and Coatesville. The 104 to Westchester operated as a trolley until 1954, when it was slowly cut back to 69th Street and closed for good in 1958. The Westchester to Downingtown trolley, meanwhile, closed in 1929, and I couldn't find a date for the closure of the Coatesville line.
And that is the last train I will be riding this entire video. Yep, starting here in Downingtown, I will be taking buses for the rest of the way to Harrisburg. First up is the SEPTA number 135, which leaves here in about half an hour, so I gotta figure out how to kill half an hour in Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Quite possibly the coolest store that ever existed is right here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's cool. Also, fun fact, churches along the Pennsylvania main line have tended to have a more liberal theology than, say, your average evangelical or fundamentalist church. That's how we actually get the term mainline Protestants. This bus appears to run between Westchester and Coatesville, so it's kind of on the periphery of SEPTA's system, and here it comes now. On the 135, you'll notice that we're still on the Philadelphia and Lancaster Turnpike, now under the name of Lincoln Highway. In my research for this video, I unearthed a gem of an anecdote from the Downingtown Historical Society that took place along this route. Way back in 1910, a young couple from Coatesville decided to elope to Delaware by trolley to get married. Unfortunately, the 16-year-old would-be bride's father was a train car inspector for the Pennsylvania Railroad's Thorndale Yard, and he was determined to stop their marriage. He chartered a locomotive from the Pennsylvania Railroad and raced down the Keystone Corridor as far as Downingtown, before jumping on a series of trolleys himself, trying to catch up to the couple before they reached Delaware. The couple had disembarked in Brandywine Springs Park to take in the sights, and there he caught up with them. The would-be groom was eventually arrested for enticing a woman from home and died in the 1918 flu pandemic. The couple was never married, but other couples ended up copying their stunt and getting away with it. We're far enough west that we have Turkey Hill. Huh, this flower shop has a stoplight. Also, I hope this person found their dog. Now, as you may recall, when fellow YouTuber Miles in Transit attempted a similar journey to the one I'm currently doing, he had to walk/run/hitchhike between Gap and Parksburg. But since then, a new bus service has been inaugurated between Coatesville and Gap, specifically for employees of Urban Outfitters. It runs every 12 hours from about a block from here, and apparently it's open to the public. So according to my research, the Chesco bus will pull up here at Lincoln and 2nd at 4:08 if it's on time. It looks like you need to call a number to find out the bus's exact status. I think I'm just gonna wait and see if it shows up. This looks like a bus. Well, if that was the bus, it went right past me. I waved to get the driver's attention, and he just waved back and kept driving, so I hope this wasn't the bus I was supposed to get on. Turns out I went to the completely wrong stop, and the bus doesn't stop here. Ooh, little free library. I wonder what's in here. 1, 2, 3, draw dinosaurs. I'm gonna take this one. So to continue my challenge, since the Chesco bus did not pick me up at the wrong station, I'm going to be taking a different Chesco bus called the Link, which will take me from here to Parksburg. From Parksburg, I will cave and take the Keystone to Lancaster.
And that is the last train I will be riding this entire video.
Waiting for the bus, waiting for the bus. Wait, is that the bus? Maybe it's going in the other direction and then it's gonna do a loop. Here it is. Ready for action. Deviation number 1. So this is gonna take a little over half an hour to get to Parksburg. It's gonna take 15 minutes driving and like 7 minutes on the Keystone. I gotta say, Coatesville feels like a slice of Pittsburgh in the Philadelphia main line. It's got like the blast furnace, the hills, the row homes, all that good stuff. Anyone want to go on the fun slide? Deviation number 2. That was called Strode Avenue, which ironically is actually a lovely little street. Deviation number 3. Deviation number 4. Nobody on or off at Airport Village. I think I just saw our first Amish farm. Alrighty, well that could have gone worse. I had a fun ride, chatted with my fellow passengers, and it's now golden hour. I'm gonna ride the Keystone. So, you know, could be worse.
Back in the day, the Conestoga Traction Company would have connected Coatesville to Lancaster. The line from Coatesville to Gap closed in 1932, and the Gap to Lancaster section closed in phases between 1933 and 1935. If you want to know more about the Conestoga Traction Company, I made a whole animated map of services. Link is in the top right corner.
Lancaster is up next, just a few moments.
And we are back in Lancaster. When I say back, I mean I'm back. This is your first time hearing this video. Had I done the original plan with the Chesco bus and then the RRTA, I could have made like a 0-minute connection at Queen Street Station, taken a bus to Elizabethtown, and then walked 3 hours to Middletown. But that does violate one rule of the challenge. So, instead, I'm just gonna go home and sleep and have a home-cooked meal and then come back to Lancaster and pick back up with the challenge. And now it's the next day. I'm back here in Lancaster Station, and I'm joined by my friend Sebastian.
Hello.
So now we're gonna walk from here to the Queen Street Station and catch the RRTA number 17 to Columbia. You excited?
Oh yeah, big time.
Hi, Susanna. Hello. Welcome to Classy Whale. Isaac's at Winonarduap. This is the Greased Building. It's the tallest building in Lancaster County, and there's sort of a off-the-market viewing deck. This is for you, Alex. I'm finally trespassing in a video. So now we're in the staircase. There's a window. For the record, this is technically not trespassing. It's a publicly available building and a publicly available staircase. So, yeah, I'm still the law-abiding Christian kid that I always was. So we're headed down there to the RRTA bus station.
Like the end of yesterday's trip, the RRTA's 17 bus follows the historic route of a Conestoga Traction Company trolley, which connected Columbia and Lancaster until 1938. We're still on the Philadelphia-Lancaster Turnpike, now known as Columbia Avenue.
We are now in Chase territory.
It's the closest thing to anything for Wawa. Anything.
Well, we are now out of Wawa territory.
Feeling very defensive right now.
So there's another Sheets over there, and Susanna is in willful denial.
I see nothing.
So here in Columbia, we're getting off the 17. We're going to catch the Rabbit Transit number 12 from here to the East York Walmart. After yesterday's debacle, I'm going to triple, quadruple check to make sure we're going to the right station, and I've given us plenty of time. Do you guys trust me?
No.
I don't trust myself more than I can throw myself. Which
Can
means
you
I
throw
don't
yourself?
trust anyone.
I trust you a lot more than I trust myself in this context. So.
We are going into an antique market. Is that a Classy Wheel? Oh no, it's just a fish. So we found all the model trains over here, often in original packaging. This is the bit of Columbia that legit feels like a city. Like a very small city. Got like the tall buildings. Feels a lot like Lebanon, actually. Bigfoot doesn't exist. Neither does the cleaning ferry. Keep it neat so we're not on the street.
So they're saying that Bigfoot doesn't exist? That's a very bold claim for that.
Rabbit Transit was called York County Transit Authority until 2000, but they renamed it to Rabbit Transit just because of the pun.
I like that. I appreciate that. Next I'll have to do rabid.
And perfect timing because here's our bus. Unusually, for a bus, the Rabbit Transit number 12 actually gives you change when you pay with cash. So I got this little voucher for 40 cents.
The Wrightsville and York Street Railway connected these two cities until 1933. I couldn't find any information, however, as to whether or not there was ever a trolley link across the Susquehanna connecting this to the Conestoga Traction Company.
So here's our number 12 at the East York Walmart. And already the 1E is pulling in. I guess it's a little bit early. Maybe it's gonna like drop off and then pick people up in a few minutes. But let's see if we can get on. So apparently this isn't actually our bus. Our bus is that one back there. It's a little confusing.
It is really weird that there's no more direct way to get from Lancaster to York.
Yeah, you would think that there would be a direct bus from downtown Lancaster to downtown York. There's people who want to make that trip. This is literally the fastest way to go from Lancaster to York.
And like they're not that far apart. Like, I don't know, they're neighbors.
So Wikipedia says York was founded like 100 years after New York. So this is technically New York. This is actually my first time in downtown New York. And it feels a lot like Lancaster. Got kind of a streamlined treat aesthetic. All right, we are here at the York Transfer Center, and it is a pretty cool looking little station. So we got signs that say where all the routes are going. They're nice and bright, so someone with a visual impairment could see them pretty well. Then there's all these little berths. It's pretty easy to walk between. Very well signed. And here's our bus. And looks like the 1E becomes the 1W. What are you doing?
It does seem pretty stationary.
Oh my gosh, I'm done. Here is our final bus of the day. The 83N Rapid Express to Harrisburg. This is like a completely empty bus. I love it. And of course we're all the way in the back. So this has a pretty nice interior. There's like little video screens. I don't know if they ever use those. And then there's lights. And the stop request button is like a little piece on the panel.
I couldn't find any information on how one would travel from York to Harrisburg by trolley, but if I had done this trip 100 years ago, I wouldn't have had to. Instead, I would have ridden from Lancaster to Elizabethtown, Elizabethtown to Hershey, and Hershey to Hummelstown on lines that closed in 1932, 1940, and 1946 respectively. There would then be another trolley from Hummelstown to Harrisburg, but I couldn't find an exact date for when that one closed. Harrisburg got rid of their streetcars entirely in 1939.
So I brought some entertainment, since this is an hour-long bus ride. So we're gonna draw some dinosaurs and other prehistoric animals, because pterodactyls are technically not dinosaurs.
Ah, what are they?
They're pterodactyls. They're their own thing. They're still a reptile, but like, if it has wings, it can't be a dinosaur.
Why
Officially.
not?
That's what the scientists say, and scientists are all... No, Sebastian, is not a dragon. So I'm gonna flip through this, and you tell me when you see something you want to draw.
Just flip to it at random.
Okay. This is a, What the? So we're pulling out of the Hopper ride, and we have now finished and named our dinosaurs. Susanna's is
Comic Sans.
Comic Sans. Mine is called Yorkie because I drew him on the bus from York. And Sebastian's has named his...
Jim.
Nice. We just missed it. Rapid Transit past Blue Bunny. I'm so happy right now. I love how this video has devolved from being like a historical piece on trolley holidays at the beginning to whatever the heck it is now.
Wait, what? This was serious at one point?
Yeah.
Because we were there for that part.
And here it is, like a shining city upon a hill. The capital of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg. It's a place. So right now we're going over this bridge, and we're heading up to Harrisburg Area Community College. And we're gonna have to double back and get off downtown. There's a fire expo.
Burn the place down.
That sounds fire.
Sounds lit. There's expos on fire.
And I'll set fire to the expo.
We didn't start the expo. It was always burning since the world's been turning. Harrisburg Area Community College, aka HAC. HAC yeah.
Heck yeah.
There's literally nobody at the bus stop.
You gotta do what you gotta do to be you.
bus shelter is gone! I love how they posted the bus schedule just on the chain link fence. Very chaotic neutral. Bonk.
Now, after a bustling day of
No.
adventure, to cap it all off,
Also no.
we have ended up at
The Pennsylvania State Capitol building! So do you guys want to guess how long it took me to get here from Philadelphia City Hall taking a trolley holiday? Although I cheated and took Amtrak.
20 hours.
2 days. 48.
27 hours. In that time, you could take the Amtrak Keystone this many times. And now, to conclude this video, we are going to engage in a sight-read rendition of the Pennsylvania State song.
La.
La,
1, 2, 3.
Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, mighty is your name.
That's not the notes.
As your history.
Yeah!
Verse 2.
No!